on the Imus in the Morning program. The introduction to one of Tonya Ryman's 5 favorite songs, Eagle's Heartbreak Radio, Can't Hide Them Lion Eyes. She's one of the premier body language experts in the country. Tonya Ryman is a Fox News channel contributor. I always see her with O'Reilly, who won't talk to me anymore. You know, he's in a snit. And she lives with her family on Long Island. She's written a bunch of number of best-selling books, haven't you, or have you?
Yep, this is the third.
Okay, yeah, it's called The Body Language of Dating. Read his signals, send your own, and get the guy. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
So, before we talk about that stuff, did you see, I asked you if you had seen this Whitney Houston interview with Diane Sawyer, with the unctuous Diane Sawyer, unfortunately. And it looked to me, you know, Warner Wolf, you know who he is?
Yes.
Okay. He took this FBI course on, what was the course you took, Warner?
It was called law enforcement course.
Yeah, and they teach you how to tell the people to lie and stuff. I don't know if it's to the degree that you are, but probably not. So, but instinctively, I have found that we all of us can tell if somebody's lying, sort of, can't we?
Well, interestingly enough, typically we're wrong. We get
Really?
a gut feeling, and it's because we filter things through our own belief systems. So quite often we misread those signals. There are certain things that you're supposed to look for when you're trying to determine if someone is being deceptive. So if you can get rid of the filters, the personal filters you have a much better chance of determining deception.
Are you hearing that, Warner?
I do hear it.
This is from the premier body language expert in the country.
Do you agree?
No, because these are criminals, and they show you case after case after case, and they all have the similar qualities, similar traits.
True, but there's a very fine line between anxiety and deception. Do you agree with that?
Anxiety and deception.
Sure, it's same signals. You know, get that fight or flight going. You're going to have very similar signals, whether you're anxious or whether you're being deceitful.
Why am I allowing this debate between Warner and Tonya? Have I lost my mind? Okay, let me show you, Tonya, this clip of Whitney Houston being interviewed by Diane Sawyer, and you tell me if you think Whitney's being honest. Roll the tape, Bigfoot.
Whitney dying. Crack rehab fails.
First of all, let's get one thing straight. Crack is cheap. I make too much money to ever smoke crack. Let's get that straight, okay? We don't do crack. We don't do that. Crack is whack.
Do I think she's being deceptive? Well, sometimes when you're that over emotional about something, that's a signal to me. That's a red flag that she's so over emphatic about it. And the way she words it is questionable as well. But, you know, I'd have to look at it a little bit more. What did Warner think? We
both thought she was lying, didn't we, Warner?
No, not necessarily. I thought she was defensive.
Yeah. Yes, I think she was a little over defensive.
For the entire interview, she sat there hugging a pillow.
Right. And that's also something when you close yourself off. But that's where we talk about, once again, that fine line between deception and anxiety, because sometimes you need something to keep you from, a barrier, so to speak, to keep you from, have you protected from others.
And it looked like she was on something during the interview.
Oh, that I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I could, because I'm a drug addict. Recovering, fortunately, but had it been me, because I wouldn't have even done the interview, I just said, shut the cameras off, but I mean, that's not the way they work. So now the body language of dating on this Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
This is a really fun book because what it allows you to do is find the things that are different between men and women. And in order to share your commonalities, you first find what's different and then you find what you guys can agree upon. So what I found over the course of doing the research is the reason sometimes relationships don't work or they don't launch is because people don't understand that men and women really do think differently. So what I did was I pegged out where we think differently, how we think differently, and then using that information to build on how we can now find our shared commonalities.
Well, how do we use that in just day-to-day? Say, like Nat, he's not here today, but he's a single guy.
Right.
Say he likes somebody around the fox here.
Right.
How does he tell whether she likes him or?
Well, you have to look for signals. The interesting thing is men tend to think that they pick women up, but what really happens is women send out signals of interest first. Right. A man unconsciously picks up on it and then will approach. Typically, the numbers are about 50% of men.
What are the signals these sluts send out?
Well, that's a very good question. It's similar body language to that of just regular liking. It would be eye contact, looking down, smiling, tilting the neck, listening to somebody, doing things like maybe self-touching, playing with jewelry, touching the ear, things that say, hey, I'm interested in you and I'm open to you. So what we saw with Whitney with that closed body language, that obviously would not be a sign of liking. You want to have open body language, positive body language, and some flirting, a little demure smile. And I always say to them, when you're making eye contact with people, hold it for a few seconds and then look down and then look back up.
What do women look for in men?
In terms of nonverbals?
Yeah.
Well, the first thing I say, if you're close enough, look to see if their nostrils are flaring, because if they are, that means they're getting a little bit excited and that fight or flight kicks in. They need some extra oxygen. Nostrils start flaring.
Well, if you're talking to some guy and his nostrils are flaring,
now you have to make sure you haven't just gotten him angry.
Might be time to call a sex crimes unit at the DA's office, wouldn't you think?
That, and not only that, you want to make sure that they're holding eye contact with you. One of the things I say is men tend to have more tunnel vision. So what happens is if something outside of their direct vision goes on, they'll turn and they'll look. Women can
What does that mean?
Well, that's because they're used to having tunnel vision. They needed that years ago in order to make the kill and bring home the food. So women are able to see things in a wider periphery. So I always say if you're talking to a man and he's giving you all of his attention, if he's just focusing purely on you, that's a very good signal that there's liking.
I know I asked you about this before, but I forget why you did it, this tattoo on your ring finger.
My husband, this is our wedding band.
Right.
Yeah. So my husband has Tonya, obviously I have Ken, and we did it just so that, it could be a little bit of a permanent statement. This is forever. And we've been married 22 years. We just did it 4 years ago, so it took us this long to determine if it was forever.
Did you have a ring prior to this?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Well, if things blow up with Ken, what happens? I mean, anything could happen. So.
Yeah, then I white it out. No big deal.
Say Hannity hits on. Well, Hannity's married. Do we have any guests? We have any hosts here not married? So
I'm not sure. Off the top of my head,
probably not. So.
Can't think of one. But
what are other important things to guys? What should guys be doing today on Valentine's Day, and women as well?
Well, I guess it depends upon where they want to be in a relationship. There's certain things that you can.
What if you want to get laid?
If you want to get laid, well, that's easy. If you just make those little player moves, then, you go in and it's very easy to make the player moves.
Be a player, man. Be a player.
Do you want to be a player? Or no, you can't. You're married.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you're married. But, this is something men and women go into bars and they both know when they want to be players. And it's okay if you both agree on that. Non-verbally, if you both know it, then it's fine. Have a great day. But again, this goes back to...
Hearing that, Lou?
I'm listening. I already know this, though. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm looking out for you. That's all.
Okay.
All over it.
Yeah, well, this is why we're saying it early in the morning. Get an early start so you have all day to practice.
I hope your book does well for you.
Thank you.
Tonya REIMAN is called The Body Language of Dating. Read his signals, send your own, and nail him down. Of course, Dagan said she looks for that Black American Express credit card, but...
Whatever works.
Whatever works. All right, thank you, Tonya. 12 minutes down till the hour.